Good afternoon, everyone. Just doing a quick video here to show you how to create or how to place Easy System RPG's interactable foliage using a PCG graph. Should be pretty quick. And yeah, let's get straight into it. The first thing you need to do is go into your plugins. So edit and plugins, and make sure you've got PCG active. You don't need any of the interrupts active for this. You just need the main one. So activate that and restart the game. The project. This is a empty project, nothing else in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the single player level. So Easy System's interaction system uses or references the instanced foliage actor directly in a bunch of the code on the components of those interactable actors. So what we're going to keep that there, and we're going to attach the stuff that we create via PCG to that actor. But first we're going to remove all of this stuff that already exists. So I'm going to go into the foliage mode. I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to right click and remove the instances as well. So now you can see all the trees are gone and we've got a blank map to work with. I will go to the top of my contents folder and I'll create a PCG graph, foliage graph we'll call it, and open that up, drag it into the viewport. So I'm going to be very lazy, I'm not making a forest or anything, just getting this to show you how it works. So I'm going to create a single point. This point will be at the center of my PCG component when I drag it out into the world. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to project it onto the landscape. So what we're going to do is I'm going to also drag it into the level, and I'm going to debug so that we can see SM6 required to use nanite. Alright, let's not do that then. Let's just spawn it as a static mesh for now so that we can see the tree we're looking for. So I'm going to set the static mesh on the static mesh spawner to be a palm of 5. There you go. So it's now in the level and it's being projected onto the landscape. So there's our tree, but it's just in instanced static mesh right now. And to attach it to the instanced foliage actor, which as we can see has no components attached currently, we are going to get the actor data of the instanced foliage actor. So all world actors by class, and we're going to get the instanced foliage actor. And there's there's one or two things to change here. I just want to get the actor reference. Actually, so it wasn't much to change. And then I'm going to expand the static mesh spawner. I'm going to attach the get actor data to the target actor. And then what we should see is that the palm tree is on that instanced foliage actor. And there's one more thing I'm going to do, and that is just to future-proof this issue. I'm going to dismiss that as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that if a tree actor already exists, it doesn't spawn a foliage. You'll see why that's sort of useful in future. So I'm going to get actor data again, but I'm going to get actors of the class of the tree base. Easy Systems tree base. Actually, I should have done tree base. So then it can get any of the children, which is what the palm trees are. I'm going to select multiple. I'm going to just get a single point for each tree, and I'm going to merge that single point data. I'm going to plug that into the differences, and then I'm going to replace that. So what this means is that when the graph runs, which is usually when you join, if an actor already exists, so say for example we've spawned an actor, we've saved the game, I'll show you this as a direct example in a second, and then we've loaded the game, the graph's going to run unload, and it's going to say, oh, there's an actor there, don't spawn the instance mesh, otherwise we'd end up with 2. So the final steps are to make sure on the static mesh spawner that the component that it's using, this instance static mesh component, change that to the version of the palm tree that we're spawning. This can be overridden up here. So if you've got a lot of data and a lot of different trees you're spawning because you've built a more complicated PCG, you can program in the mesh and the component it's spawning by adding it as attributes to the PCG data. So you're not locked in to what it says on here. And then the collision, I'm just going to update it to block all. I'm running into some small issues trying the static foliage or the dynamic foliage, but I don't think I need to fix that right now. I just need to set it to block all, and then we're away. So that's the PCG graph basically finished. The other items of setup I'm going to do are to make it work at runtime. So I'm going to tell the PCG to generate at runtime, and you can see it's disappeared because we're not at runtime. And then I'm going to go to this PCG world actor that has placed itself there when we put a graph in the scene, and I'm going to set on runtime generation a tree editor viewport as generation source. That's going to make it spawn in again. Now, when you're doing a real PCG graph, you'll be doing slightly more complicated things like partitioning it and stuff like that to fill a larger map with data, but don't need to do that here just yet for this test. And to make life easier, I'm going to place down an item from Easy Systems, and I'm going to make it a hatchet so that we can chop the tree down nice and fast. Don't want it to fall through the map, and I want to be able to pick up more than one. Right, so I think with this we're ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Play from here. I've got it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Pick up my hatchet. My tree's there, and whack, whack, whack. So there you go. It spawned an actor, and the tree would regenerate if the respawn window is passed. I'll maybe demonstrate that quickly at the end. But all I'm going to do now is save the game, and then load the game to prove that the broken tree, the actor, is still there, and the tree doesn't respawn. There you go. So we've just got the actor there, not the other part of the mesh. To prove that you would have an issue, just cancel that. Disable it, and you can see that when the PCG runs, it doesn't realize that that tree stump is there, so it spawns it. So you can see if we go into the outliner, what we have is a tree that is still a stump, and we have an item on the instance foliage actor. That's what this is to fix. So that is that, and what I'm also going to do is, this is in the single player level, so I can't demonstrate it on a multiplayer map, but essentially if you do this on the multiplayer map and you've got the PCG set to runtime, when a player joins in, it receives the actor data and then again removes the potential for the PCG tree to spawn. So that all works just as is. Yeah, and that's it. That's the whole demonstration. You could spawn a lot more trees and convert them all into actors and whatnot. PCG is its own beast. This is just very quickly how you get how you get it interacting with it. Easy Systems foliage. Thanks for watching and have a great day.